Look at me, what do you see? Up here we last with Niddrie. But look again, take off your frown, for Niddrie's seek of being put down. But plenty spirit and plenty fight. We have to keep us right. There's loads going on, I have to say, in and around our community.
And why do you think that perhaps the Craigmillar Festival Society has faded from memory in Craigmillar as much as it has?
Tell us about it.
We're going back to the 1960s when I first met Helen Crummy. It was Helen in the Mothers Club that had approached the school for music lessons for her son. And the school sort of, we have this much problems trying to teach the kids here the 3 hours. And fortunately, though, it was a forward-looking headmaster. And he says to Helen, well, if you're so sure there's a talent in the area, why not have an actual festival?
Everybody was beating the path. We were essentially world leaders in community arts, working to become community social responsibility.
From trying to put on their first official festival, made people think, what on earth have we got here in Craigmillar? We had an arts centre, and from there we had community musicals. Again, using the musical as a word about the different problems in the area.
A wee kid up on the stage saying, see me, mammy, I'm doing something. And it's all about bringing people who might not normally get the opportunity to do something artistic, put them on stage doing it. You might just uncover a genius. And that's when Craigmillar expanded, because at the same time we were losing a lot down here. Craigmillar, all the big breweries, industry were all going. Everything was gone by 1980.
Poverty is not just lack of income, it's also lack of opportunity. Opportunity perhaps for education, for the arts, or socialising.
And the biggest employer in the area was Craigmillar Festival Society, because it had to build its own schemes. Therefore, youth employment training came in, opportunities programme, various other things like that.
I would say at one point we must have been employing about 100 people.
Sometimes we were supplying the only money that was going into a family's budget.
But being quite frank, we weren't there for the money. It was the excitement of here we could do something positive in the area.
What do you think of Craigmillar now?
It's not what it was, unfortunately. I totally blame the council for that, for busting up the Craigmillar Festival the way they did in 2002. They took an organisation which may have had problems, but they bust up and fragmentised it. And they'd say, there's still only one pot, you've all got to apply for it, to get money from this, that, and the next thing. You're not all going to get it. It sets you at each other's throats. Divide and conquer. CFS, it's gone now. It's gone. And my job, as I see it, is to remind people, look, we have a history. We can still rise again.
So I first of all got involved when I heard about it through Will, and I was involved fairly early on with the planning stage. We initially, because of COVID, met via Zoom, and it was really exciting.
People really do care about looking out for each other here, and when you talk about the festival, it's just like it's an immediate. People immediately connect to it, immediately want to be part of it, giving back to the community, being part of bigger, something bigger altogether.
The festival lay dormant for a good few years, so it was just so good to see everybody coming back, seeing the talents, seeing the gifts. My name's Helen Henderson, and I was involved in organising Highland dancers for the parade and the piper.
I love the parade, seeing lots of people showing on a different outfit. That was great, and I love to know the story about the Craigmillar Festival.
One of the things that stood out, I think, for me was on the Sunday was the community stage up at the Craigmillar Castle.
Thank you.
It's really inspiring to see other people's work as well. And I actually went up with a group of other poets just to give us some moral support because we were all a wee bit nervous. So it was really nice to just have that community support and backup.
I'd rather be a glory grey and gang what I please if I couldn't use my gowd to bring me my ease. A budgie's better off, for it can flee a room, and half along the sash if they keep the windy doon.
Every day seems so busy, it seems now life is fast. Not like when you're a young child, summer would last and last. The clock is ticking quick, it's 10:30 again. Time to take the dog out.
My name's Heather Turner. I've been a carer in the community for 30 years. I was born in Craigmillar Castle Terrace in 1960, and I think I went to every Craigmillar Festival that's ever happened. But I was asked to come and do poetry at the castle, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, there, that's me done. My poem isn't long. He's a bloody well lucky I could have broke into song. Sorry now. Anyway,
It just really inspired me that to see that creativity and how people were up for sharing that together. And it's just this outpouring of like poetry and speeches and this commemoration for Johnny as well, Johnny Stanton there. There was just this moment of real celebration and something collectively that had been achieved.
My name's Julie Berman. I live in Craigmillar. I'm involved in lots of different community projects. Well, there's a local group that get together and cook food, and they made a recipe book. And in the gardens of Craigmillar now, I planted some vegetables. Me and Corrine planted some vegetables that we were going to use to make the food. So we used one of the recipes out of the book. We were basically giving a sample of the gorgeous food from the recipe from the local community cookbook. Now everybody cleared their plates except you, Sean, because you've been to your mum's for your tea earlier on and had a bloody... He's the only person that didn't clear his plate because he'd had a roast earlier at his ma's.
So yeah, another moment to me that stood out at the festival this year was the International World Food Kitchen event.
I think people just wanted to get together and meet and connect, and eating food together is such a fundamental thing and a thing that we haven't been able to do for so long. I thought it was a very healing thing to do.
And then you went in, there was this amazing vibe in there, and there was music playing and everyone was going around and trying different things, and it was just such a great atmosphere. And it was just this real celebration of culture and diversity in the community today.
For me, most important thing is the culture we can learn from each other. I have a degree in communication and culture. I'm really interested on because I knew from very long time as much we know about other people's culture, more tolerant we become from understanding them. So the diversity in this community is huge. Every single day you can see people from all over the world. I know people from Senegal, I know people from Poland, I know people from Pakistan, I know people from a lot of countries. And I never been in a so diverse city like now.
I felt great. So to start with, I felt very welcome because I could see people from other countries like me being part of the festival. After the event, I feel even more confident walking around. And yes, I feel more connected. I want to be more involved. I want to be part of the community.
Craigmillar, as soon as I moved here actually, I realised what a special place it was. It's just so the people care about each other and look out for each other.
Scotland's becoming my first home. I'm feeling at home here.
I feel very proud to live here and I feel very defensive, and I think that we need to change, and we are changing the perception of Craigmillar and Niddrie by doing things like the festival.
Everybody helping one another out and just letting people know what the community is about. It has such a bad reputation over the years, where it doesn't need to have a bad reputation because it's such an amazing community to live in. Having the community involved is what's important to me about the festival. We used to get the schools involved, and each school was given one thing that they were to do, so that on the opening day with the parade, they would come along and do their bit, whatever the topic was that we were going to do about the festival that year. So it's getting the schools involved again and getting the rest of the community involved. And that's what I would like to see for the future festivals.
I work in a school, so I would like the school to let young people know that there is a big festival going around so they can come and be part. For example, during that parade, it would be good having more young people there and listening to their ideas, getting them to know what is behind this community, how it's been improving every single day.
This is the first time in years that this has happened, and I think that moving on we need effective communication with all the people, a lack of competition. We're all different and we all need to appreciate our differences and come together in that spirit. But this is the first time, and this is just the foundation to build on for the future.
Craigmillar and Niddrie to me is just showing people how the community still works together and helps one another out.
There is no way this kind of festival would have happened without that, commitment and desire of so many people wanting to see it happen.
I think that the community hasn't given up, and that spirit is really strong here, and that's what I feel really honoured to be part of.
I felt that excitement the fact that there was still a seed. Although the society in its fullness had gone, there was still a seed, and it had now been picked up. And the excitement that was there in the beginning came back. And it was good fun being a child again. Helen herself never wanted a statue because she thought she didn't do it alone, she did it with the neighbourhood workers, the volunteers and whatever, but we said somebody has to represent what was achieved, and Helen didn't get her say in the matter. My thoughts were, I wish Helen was here to see it, that we had, as a society, hadn't died out, that she would be actually thrilled to think that what she had started had survived.